Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So can one of you start Mangalachanam prayers? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavane Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. And thank you, dear devotees, for joining and giving me your wonderful association, giving a chance to discuss the books of Purvacharyas, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's Madhurya Kadambini, which is actually a curtain raiser on bhakti process, how the bhakti progresses from the time we somehow are fortunate to come to develop some faith, bhakti shraddha. And that too, we know how it comes. We have discussed in the first chapter. Only by devotee mercy, by devotee association, by Agyada Sukriti, we develop the credits for bhakti. And when it reaches the critical mass, a certain amount of this Agyada Sukriti piles up, and then it transforms into Shraddha. That is why we even say, when we go for book distribution also, when we are trying to sell books, there are several tables, several devotees are trying to sell. Somebody comes to your table, he just looks at the books and walks. Then he goes to the next table, he will touch the book and then he will walk away. Third table, he will engage with somebody in some discussion. But finally, he may buy the book in a different place. So all this actually gives him sukriti. So actually the whole process of distribution of bhakti or distribution of books is actually a process of distributing sukriti. We cannot expect that I go for book distribution, so I should sell books. At the end of the day, if you have not sold books, definitely we should evaluate our strategies. We should look for better ways and means to distribute books. We should find the right location. We should have the right pitch. We should have the right facilities. We should have the right kind of devotees standing around. All that apart, after making your best efforts, if you don't get the results you want, you should not become disheartened, because bhakti is, now we understand, it's a process of distributing sukriti, bhakti sukriti. You cannot directly give bhakti, because the person has to acquire the necessary sukriti credits before they develop the faith. We think we consider faith as a given, When we come to devotion, we think everything starts from faith. But to get that faith also, Sukriti is required. Actually, it's a very deep subject. It's a very deep subject. It involves some psychology also. Because, see, what we call a person's intelligence, it largely depends on the faith the person has. What we call intelligence is a function of faith, actually. So, a person who has got bhakti faith, he has got a different kind of intelligence. He has spiritual intelligence operating. A person who has got a lot of faith in material things, material sciences, he also has got intelligence of a different type. He may have a very high IQ, but he won't be able to believe in God. He will start wondering, something so obvious, why this fellow cannot understand? For me, it is so clear. But why this fellow doesn't understand? It is like broad daylight to me. Why they don't understand? This is where we have to understand the function of faith and how it operates on our intelligence. The whole intelligence operates on the foundation of whatever faith you have. That faith becomes a foundation of what intelligence is built upon it. So that way we should be, without going more deeply into that subject, let us understand that Bhakti Shraddha requires a certain kind of foundation. And that comes by giving mercy, by making them eat prasadam knowingly or unknowingly, by making them come to the temple, take the darshan, allowing them to touch the books. We sometimes, we push the book into the hand of a person. Say, just take it. And sometimes unwittingly they will take. Push the book into the hand, they will take it. Then they say, keep the book in their hand and you turn the pages and you let them see the pictures and you say a few things about Srila Prabhupada. In different ways, you give them Sukriti. At the end of it, if they go away without buying a book, you have no problem. It's not that the book should necessarily go from your hand only. It can go from another devotee's hand. The devotee may not be around you. The devotee may be far away. You may give Sukriti in Chennai. The devotee may buy it in Delhi. That's also okay for us. We are just trying to serve the souls without any personal agenda. That at the end of the day, I want to declare I sold so many books. Similarly, the same logic you have to turn it around now. You are unable to sell the books, but you have given Sukriti. You should not feel dejected. On the contrary, you should feel I have done my job. Now Krishna will do the rest. In another situation, let us say, you were in a book distribution situation. You had 20 books with you. All 20 books you distributed in a matter of 1 hour. Another devotee is struggling and says, I could not sell a single book. Should you become proud or what should be the reaction? How should you logically analyze this? Please tell me.
We have to help him to sell his books too.
Sorry, Prabhu?
We have to help him to sell his books too.
Okay, that's fine. But how do you understand this situation? Do you become very proud or very happy that I am a very successful book distributor? Or
no, Prabhuji. No.
Why?
We need to. He's also another soul who is trying his level best to do the service for the Lord, but maybe that time he couldn't do it. We need to console him that maybe the next time he will be able to sell. So.
Agreed. What I am saying, how do you handle your own mind in such a situation?
To be calm and peaceful and thank God, thank the Lord.
Okay.
To be calm. Why should be? Should not be proud of yourself. It is all Krishna's mercy. So you should thank God and surrender to the lotus feet that it is because of your mercy I could sell it, but it was this thing that really pushed me to do the job for you. That is a service for you.
Agreed. But I will give you one more tip how to handle it. in one situation, I said, don't get dejected. You give Sukruti. That Sukruti will help this person to take the book from some other place. He has not collected sufficient Sukruti, but you have added to whatever Sukruti that person is already having, you have added something. So you apply the same logic here. Someone else or many other people have given Sukruti to this person. So you are the last straw on the camel's back that broke it. It is not that one straw breaks the camel's back. So much straw is piled up on the camel and it is holding everything up. Then one straw is added and it collapses. But it's not because of that one straw. It is the overall burden that collapses the camel. Similarly, we have been just one more element in the Sukruti process. We are one more instrument. So simply because the book went out of my hands, it is no credit to me. Rather, the credit is shared by so many other devotees who have allowed this person to see the book. Maybe they have taken him to a temple or they have given some prasadam. In different ways, this person has collected Sukruti. And so today, when he came to you, the book went. So whether we are able to sell the books successfully, we don't become proud of it. Or if we are not able to successfully sell the books, we don't become dejected about it or depressed. Someone is very successful, I'm not so successful. No need. Neither pride nor depression is warranted in this situation. We should remain dispassionate. Of course, when somebody takes it, you are happy. Oh, here is one person. He got the prospect of reading Srila Prabhupada's books. This person has taken this book. This may change his life. This may change the life of someone or his family, whoever. So that is logical. But to think that I am a successful book distributor, that may not be a very correct thing to say. But having said this, as I said in the beginning, we should always try to do our best. But the results, whether it is very positive or very negative, it should not affect us either way. So that is the thing we were talking about. From the beginning, the bhakti process, from the stage of Sukruti to Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, etc., how it eventually goes to Prema. So the whole thing is being explained. That list was given by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Path is elaborating upon it so that we can understand each of the steps in greater detail. And we can try to understand where am I in this process, where do I stand, and where do I go next, and how can I reasonably expect to make progress from here. Or if I am facing some obstacles, I can try to understand from where this obstacle is coming from and what should be done to overcome that. So all these things for a sadhaka bhakta, this book is a guide, step-by-step guide. We can see like that. So I'm slightly forgetting, did we complete the third shower or we are still there? We have still something left. We have completed.
Yes, Prabhuji, we have started the fourth.
Okay, because towards the end, there was some Purva Paksha arguments. I think we have already discussed that. How not to wrongly interpret, how to rightly interpret certain situations. Somebody gets a suffering, it is not necessarily because they have got Purva Karma. Somebody has delay in receiving the benefits of Bhakti. It doesn't necessarily mean the person has done aparadha. In many situations, Krishna's invisible hand is always operating. By delaying the results, even though you are working hard, you are not getting the results, Krishna may be personally handling that, so that you some more impurities in you will go away. You will develop greater hankering and you will develop the eligibility to reach a higher level of prema. It could be many, many reasons. So that's what was explained towards the end. So now we are in the fourth shower and we were discussing the obstacles in the Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Once the Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, you clear certain obstacles, then you reach Nishtita Bhajana. And that's called Nishta. Nishta is basically, it's all Bhajana only. But earlier it was Anishtita Bhajana. When you reach Nishtita Bhajana, then you call it Nishta. So the obstacles are like this. First it is Laya. Laya means the tendency to sleep during Kirtana. That is very rare. People usually may not sleep during Kirtana when this Sankirtan, a lot of devotees with a lot of instruments sitting and singing may not be, but when it is a small group and not many instruments are involved, maybe some devotees may feel sleepy. Or Shravanam, when you are hearing a Bhagavatam class, then you may have a tendency to fall asleep in the middle of the class. Or Smaranam, you are trying to sit and meditate on what you have read or what you have heard. And in that process also, or you may try to meditate on some dham you have visited. You try to replay it in your mind as though you are doing it again in your mind. In that process, you may fall asleep. So smarana, Lord's qualities, pastimes, like that. If you are trying to do smarana, you may fall asleep. This is called the problem of laya, tendency to sleep. This is one obstacle. Second obstacle is called vikshepa. Vikshepa means when you are hearing or reciting or remembering, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, if you are doing, while you are hearing these transcendental topics of the Lord, you are conjoining material subjects with that. When you think about Krishna taking prasadam with so many Gopa boys, your mind is going to what is in prasadam today, what items are being offered, what. So like that, mind may go away, So like that, discussing something spiritual subject, but because our mind is filled with material subject matters, so it will have a tendency that somebody is giving Krishna Katha, but my mind is wandering on all kinds of material things. Somewhere it will pick up a link. After some time, you will forget also. From where the link, from one thought to another thought to another thought, like a monkey on a tree, jumping from branch to branch to branch. The mind also produces thoughts like that. There is a link, but the link you will forget, you will get absorbed in the thought. So this is called vikshepa, distraction. Transcendental subjects are being spoken, but mind is distracting into material things. Third one, two are done. Third one is aprapatti. Aprapatti means indifference. You cannot develop interest in the spiritual subject. Like you are unable to perform kirtana, etc. Even though you are not sleepy, you are not meditating on material subject matters, but still the spiritual subject somehow does not interest you. Sometimes. It may be all the time or it may be sometimes. You are not able to develop that interest. Somebody is talking about Prahlad Maharaj's pastime. The katha starts and he is talking about how Hiranyakashipu, because of the loss of his brother, he wanted to do tapasya, he wanted to become immortal, and he wanted to take revenge on Lord Vishnu for killing his brother. Like that, the story starts, and immediately you know what is going to happen, what comes next, and all that. Somehow you are not able to connect with that. You are not able to be interested in that, even though this is a subject. When you talk about Prahlad Charitra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri, along with Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit used to live in Tota Gopinath temple, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would daily visit him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a fixed plan for the day. And one of the things was, Mahaprabhu, after taking darshan of Jagannath, etc., he would visit Haridas Thakur, deliver him prasadam from Jagannath, like that. Then he will go to Gadadhar Pandit, where they would together discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. And mostly they would discuss either Prahlad Charitra or Dhruva Charitra. So Gadadhar Pandit will read, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will relish, and Mahaprabhu will say, read it again, not the whole. Some shloka he will pick up and say, I want to hear it again, I want to hear it. Just one shloka. They may read 100 times also in one sitting. And second day it may happen again. So much so, they would cry. he would be keeping the palm leaves in front of him, Gadadhar Pandit, and constantly tears of love will be falling on that, both Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit. So much so, it slowly got erased. The ink got erased. So at a future time, Srinivasacharya was coming to a very, very touching pastime. Actually, when we talk about Vipralamba, the entire Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy is Vipralamba. And you will see so many such instances when you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, etc. Of course, in Srimad Bhagavatam also we see a lot of Vipralamba. You see in Ramayana also Vipralamba. Ordinary people cannot even understand these things. Because we are in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we understand what is Vipralamba. And we understand Vipralamba is even greater than Samyoga. Coming together. Its separation, prema in separation, viraha, is higher than coming together. Of course, they keep happening alternatingly, but it is the viraha that adds taste, rasa, to sambhoga when the meeting happens. And in viraha, extreme amount of ecstasy is experienced, like the gopis, they experienced extreme ecstasy when the Lord disappeared in the rasa dance. So like that, this Vipralamba is actually the highest. So here we see, for example, Srinivas Acharya, he takes birth and he sort of grows up and he wants to go to Jagannath Puri and take the shelter of Mahaprabhu. Actually, he was born by the blessings of Mahaprabhu. When he tries to go back and go to Jagannath Puri from Navadvip, on the way, somebody is telling, oh, Mahaprabhu has passed away, like that. The news is falling on his ears. And he immediately falls down in great distress and he keeps crying and all that. Then in the night when he is sleeping, something else is broken, that another Acharya has disappeared. Like that, slowly, slowly the news comes to him. And he feels extreme, stress of separation. Then eventually he reaches Puri, and eventually he meets Gadadhar Pandit, who is the only one available at that time. Very old, only one available at that time. So he says, I came to learn Srimad Bhagavatam from you. Please teach me Bhagavatam. Gadadhar Pandit is very much known for relishing Srimad Bhagavatam. Gadadhar Pandit is actually Srimati Radharani. So Gadadhar Pandit replied to him, oh, my dear Srinivas, actually the palm leaves which I am having, the entire Bhagavatam has vanished from that, because me and Mahaprabhu used to sit and read, and while reading we used to shed tears of love, and there is nothing now. So can you bring one copy, then I will teach you. So he goes all the way back and then he gets a new copy. Getting a new copy is not like going to a shop and paying and getting a set. Give me one Bhagavatam. Said, how much it is? 10,000 rupees. Okay, give me one set and send it by courier. In those days, every Bhagavatam was handwritten. So if you want a copy, someone will hand copy it from the original, what they are having, and they will give it to you 18,000 shlokas without error. If it has to be copied by hand, even the best scribe will take some time. They will write for some time, they will take some break, they will go for prasadam, they will go for darshan, whatever. They have to sleep. So he brought the new copy and he returned. But when he returned, Gadadhar Pandit also had disappeared. So that was his suffering. So this is Vipralamba. People will say how cruel the Lord is and how much suffering is there. It is suffering only in one sense, especially from a material perspective for us. But it's actually transcendental ecstasy. Very difficult for us to understand actually. We cannot imagine, by mental speculation we cannot understand. But we have to believe the scriptures that service in separation is the greatest ecstasy. And Mahaprabhu came to give us that. Mahaprabhu came to give us that ecstasy in separation. So like that we see in the life of Lokanath Goswami. He is a friend of Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu was taking sannyas, he did not want to see that scene. He went to Vrindavan. And he stayed there. Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he went to Puri, and then he went on a South India Yatra. This news fell in the ears of Lokanath Goswami. And he thought, okay, I cannot bear the separation anymore. I will track him down and I will meet him. But Mahaprabhu had told him, Lokanath, you stay in Vrindavan. After taking sannyas, I will come. He informed him in advance before taking sannyas. You be there, I will come, you wait for me. So Lokanath waited, but Mahaprabhu took sannyas and he did not come to Vrindavan. He was stopped by his mother and she asked him to go to Puri and he went and stayed in Puri. He tried to go to Vrindavan once, twice. It did not materialize. Then Mahaprabhu started on South India Yatra. So Lokanath had waited. Now he became, no more I can wait. He started forgetting that Mahaprabhu told he will come. He said, before he comes, I will catch him and then I will come with him. So he went to Puri. From Puri, he got the news he has gone South India Yatra. Then he went to South India. Wherever he went, Mahaprabhu just left. He did the whole South India parikrama, but never seeing Mahaprabhu. Then eventually, he came to know that Mahaprabhu gone to Vrindavan. And Lokanath was, shocked. My God, he asked me to wait there and he's going there and I am not there. What to do? So, in great distress, he rushed to Vrindavan. But when he came to Vrindavan, he got the news Mahaprabhu left. And he could not control his crying. He cried all night. And then in the dream, Mahaprabhu came and told him, I have left. So don't worry, you continue your bhajana. So this is Vipralambha. How do we understand that this is ecstasy? But this is ecstasy. When the scriptures tell us, we have to accept that. And the whole Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, as we were discussing the other day also, Shad Goswamis, He Radhe Vraja Devi Ke Chalalite, He Nanda Suno Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpapata Patale, Kalindi Vanye Kuta, Koshanta Vidhi Sarvada Vrajapure, Teder Mahavihvalo, Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo, Shri Jiva Gopalako. The 6 Goswamis are wandering all over the Vrajabhumi and they are crying, Hey Radhe, Vrajadevi Ke, Lalite, Vishakha, Krishna, where are you? Where are you? Are you on the foothills of Govardhan? Or are you in Shamakund, Radhakund? Or you are in some Kalindi Vanye in one of the forests of Vrindavan? Where are you? Like that. All day they are lamenting. Where are you? When will I find you? How can I find you? In that mood only, they spend the whole day. They don't say, I have seen Krishna. Krishna came with me, sat with me, embraced me, talked to me. They never say all these things. They are always in the mood of separation, searching. This is Gaudiya Vaishnava principle. That is why we see Saraswati Thakur constantly criticizing the Sahajiyas. The Sahajiyas are a branch of Vaishnavas, Apasampradaya Vaishnavas. Their mood is, every woman is Radharani, every man is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, and they have their Raslila. They think there is a highest. We are playing Raslila, and they engage in all kinds of debauchery, not bona fide. But in the name of being Vaishnavas, in the name of Mahaprabhu, etc., they misuse that. So they are called Apasampradaya. But actual, bona fide Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, which Mahaprabhu came to give, is service in separation only. So all of us as devotees, we should cultivate that mood. You see, Sikshashtakam also, Mahaprabhu says the same thing. It builds up. Sikshashtakam from Shloka 1, there is a build up of feelings of separation. First it is about, in the 3rd Shloka, constantly chanting the name of Hari by becoming very humble and very tolerant, etc. Then giving up desire for all kinds of material things, including puja, labha, pratishtha. The devotee gives up everything. And then he starts begging the Lord, oh my Lord, out of my foolishness, I have come from your spiritual world. I have fallen in the material pool. which is like a gutter. I have fallen here and I am drowning. Please take me back and attach me as a dust particle on your lotus feet. That crying, then when will my eyes be decorated with tears of separation whenever I mention the name of Govinda? When will I cry? When will my voice choke? When will that strong feelings of separation come to me? And in your separation, even one moment is like a yuga or more. Yuga is translated as 12 years. 12 years is considered yuga. Actually, other yugas are larger, but 12 years or more, one moment. And it is explained that this is a sign of prema. This is a sign of Mahabhava. One moment feels like a yuga in separation. So like that. Then ultimately, Asti Shiva Padaratam Pinashtuma Madarshanan Marmahatam Karotuva Yeta Dhatava Vitadhatulam Podo Mat Prananatastu Sayevana. Oh Krishna, you can appear and embrace me tightly, or you can simply squash me with your foot. You can just squash me to the ground, or without appearing, you can remain away from me for a long, long time. You may give your mercy to so many other gopis and you may never appear to me. But everything is okay with me. You are completely independent. I am completely dependent. You are Swarat. I am totally dependent on you. I am your Dasi forever. So you are my Prananath. You can do anything with me. That mood is actually surrender. You do with me. Not that I have done so much. Now it is really you have to come. It's not like that. Not that by our sadhana bhakti, we have an entitlement to pull Lord towards us. Not at all. We are just begging the Lord for His mercy. That's all. Through all our sadhana bhakti, we are just begging. We don't know how much anarthas are there. We don't know how much aparadhas are there. We have no right to demand anything from the Lord. And for that matter, you cannot demand also because He is Swarat. He is fully independent. He will decide when to give and when not to give. So we have to develop that mood of viraha, Govinda virahenami. We have to feel that whenever the Lord comes, the Lord will come. And I will wait with all patience, constantly keeping my name on my lips, on my tongue. I will wait. So that is the service in separation. So to such people, when you simply mention Krishna, they will faint in ecstasy. Madhavendra Puri, when he sees a blue cloud, he used to faint. Or Mukunda, who was a very close associate of Mahaprabhu Vaidya, the moment he saw the king being fanned with peacock feather fan, he fainted. He fell from the top of the Singhasan, many steps on top. From there, he simply rolled down and became unconscious. So such feelings are there. But I was telling, in our case, the same Narsimha Leela is being narrated. Every year, Narsimha Jayanti comes, and that time we hear. And in between also, very often times, Narsimha pastime may be spoken. We may think, I know this story. Is there anything new? Or then we will feel indifferent. I know what he's going to tell next. What is so big? Even I can tell the story better. So that is called indifference. And the name in Sanskrit is aprapatti. Aprapatti, state of indifference. Unable to perform kirtana, etc., even though neither laya nor vikshepa is there. That's called apratipatti. Then kashaya. Kashaya means the unworthy habits are still influencing you, such as tendency to indulge in anger. Anger should not be there. If I think I am an advanced devotee, I am in Nishtha stage, then why am I getting angry? Right? So anger, greed, pride, and other unworthy habits, if they are still in the person, sadhaka, that's called kashaya, kalmasha, unwanted things, pollution, contamination. So that's called kashaya. Then lastly, rasa aswada means inability to absorb the mind in kirtana whenever there is an opportunity for material sense pleasure. Let us take the same example. In the temple, we are attending a nice afternoon arati. At the same time, They have started serving prasadam downstairs. You have not taken any food from the morning, and the nice fragrance of good prasadam is coming, and devotees are rushing. Then you are not appreciating the arati anymore. You are thinking, shall I go down now and relish the prasadam? I am feeling hungry. So when the opportunity arises for material sense pleasure, the mind is going away from kirtana. So kirtana means it's one common name for all the processes of bhakti, serving the Lord. So that is called rasa aswada, taste for material sense pleasures. It is obstructing. When the opportunity arises, your mind is going away from Krishna. Till that time, you're okay. But suddenly, the mind is picking on some sense pleasure which is immediately available, then it goes to that. So, these are the obstacles. Nishta appears in the absence of these faults. So, devotees, would you like to say anything? Any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
I just wanted to understand Vikshepa a little more, Prabhuji. I'm not able to understand at all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare. So, first it was Laya. Laya, everybody understands. Laya means feeling sleepy. Vikshepa means
Experience, Prabhuji. We experience that.
Vikshepa means you are hearing topics of the Lord, but the mind is connecting it with something material because it's very natural. No? We have not experienced anything spiritual yet, right? We are all sadhakas. We are very much in the material world. Our material senses are active. Our spiritual sense is not yet awakened. It will awaken in the prema stage or maybe partially in bhava stage. But our spiritual senses are not yet awake. So whatever we read about the Lord or hear, we will have a tendency to connect it to some material subject matter. Right? Acharyas also help us. Actually, Krishna also helps in the 10th chapter. Krishna teaches you how to connect him with material things. When you drink water, remember I am the taste. Remember when you see the sun or the moon, the light is actually coming from me. When you eat prasadam and you digest it, remember I am the digestive fire in your stomach. When you see a mountain, the Himalayas or a mighty ocean or a snake, anything, the best is me. Like that, in material things, Krishna teaches how to see him. But this is the other way around. When something spiritually is being talked about and we are connecting it to something material. And the mind immediately picks up that thought and then starts traveling. It starts traveling towards related material subject matters, right? It could very much happen when we are reading Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan with the devotees. We may connect it with our own material pastime, Krishna's transcendental pastime. We may connect it to some material pastime like that. Is it okay, Mataji? That is Vikshepa.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, that is what Prabhuji. Vibhuti Yoga, in that he says that I am the taste of water and all that,
That is
Prabhuji.
the
That
reverse.
vice versa should not happen, no, Prabhuji.
Vice versa should not happen. Exactly.
Hare. Prabhuji, you said that Madhavendra Puri,
Yes.
just seeing on the by the color of the cloud, he used to remember Krishna. So that
Yeah.
is okay. So that doubt came to me, Prabhuji. That is
Okay. Yeah. That
so
is
seeing
welcome.
everything, we should connect it to Krishna. But
Yes.
while hearing about Krishna, we should never connect that to material things.
It should not bring you down to the material platform. Anything should pull you up to the spiritual platform, not pull you down to the material platform. That is where we have to be alert. Everything, whether it is material or spiritual, we should feel inclined to remember Krishna more intensely. That's what.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So here, Nishta appears in the absence of these faults. Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhada yaschaye chetayete anaviddam sthitam sattve prasidati. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-19. Sudha Goswami is telling Sonakadi Rishis. The mind becomes unaffected by lust, greed, anger, hatred, and illusion, which arise from rajas and tamas. Right? All this kama, krodha, lobha, moha, They arise from the lower modes of nature, not from sattva. Rajas and tamas, they arise from that. Then the mind becomes unaffected by it in the stage of nishtha. Then the mind becomes fixed in the form of the Lord at the stage of asakti and becomes satisfied. So this is Vishwanath Chakravarti's translation of the sloka. What he is telling is, when the mind is stable, it is not disturbed by all these anarthas of kama, krodha, lobha and all. That means the rajas and tamas have completely settled. You are in the sattva. At that stage, the mind can become fixed on the form of the Lord. Like in a clear lake, the tree on the bank is nicely reflected, or the moon in the sky is nicely reflected. In a placid pool, not a single wave or a ripple is there. It is like a glass. Then you can see the reflection. In a similar way, in a mind which is not agitated by lust, anger, greed, etc., then the Lord's form is perfectly reflected, and that stage is called asakti. Asakti is going beyond, nishtha, ruchi, asakti. So that is explained here. Here, the word cha. Now, it is Vishwanath Chakravarti is explaining. Tada rajas tamo bhavaha kama lobhadayas cha ye. That cha indicates an aggregate. And thus, rajas and tamas are indicated in plural form rather than dual form. That means the list is much longer. There could be many more items. Since all the impurities, not only the ones listed here, other impurities are also removed, completely removed, etair anaviddham, completely removed, only at the stage of bhava. The phrase here means that their slight presence does not act as an obstacle during this stage. This is slightly technical. The point what Vishwanath Chakravarti is telling is, we have talked about Ekadesha Vartini, Bahudesha Vartini, Prayiki, Purna, and Atyantiki. Correct? You remember these, no? How the anarthas are cleared in stages. Correct? So we heard that the nishtha stage means anarthas are gone. Right? But in this sloka, it is indicated that anarthas are not completely gone at the stage of nishtha, or even ruchi or asakti, or even bhava, right? It is removed in the stage of bhava. All the anarthas are removed only in the stage of bhava, atyantiki. So till that time, some traces of anarthas can be there. That is why we are told never to judge devotees. Some devotees may be in the stage of nishtha or ruchi. They may sometimes display lust or greed or anger or hatred. But because of that, we should not criticize them even in our mind. Because it is permitted here. From here we understand such things are possible. Some traces of rajas and tamas may still remain in the stage of nishtha. Actually, a devotee in a nishtha stage is very advanced. His mind is no longer disturbed. His mind is fixed. The Lord's image is perfectly reflecting in his consciousness. So he's very advanced. But still, some traces might be there. And that is why it is here mentioned like that. Okay. Next is Nishtita Bhakti. There are two types of Nishtita Bhakti. Nishtita Bhakti means Nishtha. The stage of Nishtha. There are two types. One type is concerning Bhakti directly, and second type is concerning elements favorable to Bhakti. Not very difficult. I will explain to you what this means. So, first understand Nishtita Bhakti, two types. One is concerning Bhakti directly. Second one is concerning Bhakti indirectly. In the sense, it is about favorable elements to Bhakti. How they are developing. How Bhakti is developing and how elements favorable to Bhakti are developing. These are the two types. We will see examples. Steadiness in Bhakti itself has three basic divisions. He is now coming into another classification. Steadiness in terms of three aspects. What are they? Body, words, and mind. Bodily, vocal, and mental. Steadiness happens in these three stages, not at the same time. It can happen at different times. Somebody may become bodily steady, but mind and vocal not yet steady. Somebody may be vocal steady, but body, mind not yet steady. So like that, this is one more classification he's introducing, that Nishtha can happen all three together or one at a time. One may be very advanced in one aspect, but not so advanced in other aspects. So this is one classification. According to some authorities, first one attains steadiness in bodily services. Some authorities say it will happen in this order only. What is that order? First, in bodily services, one becomes steady. Then in vocal activities like kirtana, etc. And finally, in mental activities, namely remembering, meditation, etc. So body, mind, body, words, mind. This is the order according to some authorities. But other authorities, however, disagree with this progression. What they say is that because of the differences of strength, endurance, or potency of the body, voice, and mind in different devotees. So in different devotees, the potency of these three, the strength and endurance, can differ. Somebody may have bodily strength more, bodily endurance more than voice and mind. Somebody else may have voice more, somebody may have mind more, in terms of strength, endurance, and potency. Depending on that, one may grow in one aspect more than the others. It can differ from devotee to devotee, a particular devotee, depending on the extraordinary capacity of either the body, voice, or mind, whichever is stronger, may progress more rapidly in one particular capacity. Is it clear? Any doubts?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, when you said that the other thing, Prabhuji, you didn't mention that mind, Prabhuji. So I just wanted to know. Like,
Other one
the
I am
other
coming to that.
Okay, sir.
He said bhakti directly, bhakti indirectly. That we have not discussed now.
Not that, Prabhuji. You
Ah.
said that it should go body, vocal, and mind.
Correct.
So the other also say that it can be different in different devotees. So
Yes.
when you mentioned that body and vocal, but you didn't mention about the mind, Prabhuji. So
No, that's what. For some devotee, mind may be stronger than the other two. Then in his case, the growth will happen in mind first. Then it will be followed by words and body. That's possible.
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
It can happen in any order, depending on the particular devotee's proclivities. Right? So this is one part. Now we are going to talk about, this is bhakti, direct bhakti. What we have discussed now is direct bhakti, how it develops. Now we are discussing indirect. That means steadiness in elements favorable to bhakti. It refers to steadiness in such qualities. Which are the qualities favorable to bhakti? Humility, giving respect to others, friendliness, and mercy. These are all qualities favorable to bhakti. So in some devotee, these qualities may develop. Right? In one devotee, bhakti has developed more, but these elements favorable to bhakti have not developed so much. In another devotee, elements favorable to bhakti has developed more, but bhakti has not developed more. Can you imagine, can you visualize these two situations in different devotees?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So now we will see what Chakravarti Path says about it. However, sometimes steadiness in such qualities may be seen in devotees who have the ability to control the senses, but they have not developed steadiness in bhakti. They have not developed nishtha in bhakti, but they have developed these qualities more because of ability to control the senses. See, here very beautiful, fine distinctions are being made by Chakravarti Path for our benefit. And this is very, very important for a devotee to understand. That means we want pure devotion, correct? We want prema, correct? Bhaktir uttama. We want uttama bhakti. In our sadhana also, we want to do uttama sadhana bhakti, correct? So our focus should be on developing bhakti more than anything else. So here, Chakravarti Pad is telling it is possible that someone may have the elements favorable to bhakti, such as humility, giving respect to others, friendliness, mercy, and all, but they may not have bhakti as much as required. They may have less bhakti, but more of these elements in some person. Whereas in another person, bhakti may be more, but these elements may be less. He may not have that much humility. He may not give so much respect to others, but he may be a better devotee. All these things, at least I am thinking to myself, this will help me not to cause offenses to devotees. Never to judge devotees on the basis of externals. Humility may be visible externally. Giving respect to others, sometimes it may not be visible externally also, but still, these elements are more visible than bhakti itself. Bhakti is more deep, no? Mercy, friendliness, giving respect to others may be more externally visible. These are elements favorable to bhakti, but this is not bhakti. This is the point. What Chakravarti Pad is telling. These four things are definitely favorable, but this by itself is not bhakti. And it is possible that someone has bhakti, but doesn't have these elements. You cannot criticize them. You cannot do offenses to them. Rather, see what can happen. What can happen? We, because of our material consciousness, we may consider someone with more humility, giving respect, friendliness, and mercy. We may think he's a greater devotee than another person who is not showing any of these things, but he may be actually a greater devotee than that. That's what he's telling. So, bhakti is very, very subtle. We cannot judge the bhakti level of another person, right? We cannot judge. So, you have to be extremely, extremely careful. That is the message I get from this. What do you think? Would devotees
Hare
like
Krishna
to?
Prabhu. Are both of them on the same level, Prabhuji?
No,
So
no.
who is?
Now, you tell me, then I will tell you.
No,
One
I
who
had a
has
doubt, Prabhu.
bhakti only, Prabhuji. But those who cultivate these qualities will eventually come to that stage, Prabhuji. Don't know, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. As you said, Prabhuji, it is true, Prabhuji. When we are seeing this, we are judging. But at the same time, we should make a prayer to the Lord, like, please help me come out of this, Hare Krishna. Because it's so natural that we make judge, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we should know we are seeing with material eyes. That's the problem, right? Our tendency to see with material eyes. But in bhakti, it doesn't work that way. That is the message we get from this. Of course, typically we are told if a devotee is manifesting negative qualities like being angry or some deficiencies, material desires, etc., we are told give them respect in mind, but keep a safe distance so that you may not create offenses. But here the more important point is it is possible that a devotee more advanced than others may not appear like that. And a less advanced devotee may appear more advanced to us because of our material vision. Right? So let us see again what he says. However, sometimes steadiness in such qualities may be seen in devotees who have the ability to control the senses. That's all. He doesn't have bhakti, enough bhakti, but he has the ability to control the senses like a yogi, a yogi or a jnani. They are good at controlling the senses. But does it mean they are bhaktas? Just think. What do you think? Are yogis and bhaktas necessarily devotees? Are advanced devotees? Can we say that?
No, Prabhuji, yogis we cannot say, Prabhuji.
Yoga is a path,
Hmm.
Dhamma is a path, Jnana is a path, Bhakti is a path. So in those other paths, more importance is given to sense control. But in Bhakti, the importance is to Bhakti, not to sense control. Of course, sense control is good, but your energy should be more focused on developing your Bhakti rather than spend that energy on developing side qualities so that it will get you more respect from others. Definitely, we should give up bad qualities, But the best way to give up bad qualities is by developing bhakti only. Right? So, but they see here clearly your question is answered. Such devotees have the ability to control the senses, but they may not have developed steadiness in bhakti. They may not have reached nishtha in bhakti, you see. They have reached nishtha in sense control, but not in bhakti. And sometimes, then the vice versa is telling. Sometimes steadiness in qualities like humility is not seen in those who have attained steadiness in bhakti. Very clear, no? Very clear, right? Is there anything doubt left? Very clear.
No, Prabhuji. Hare
Huh?
Krishna,
Very
Prabhuji.
clear. Both possibilities are there. Yeah, tell me.
Prabhuji, but while practicing bhakti in the beginning stages itself, it is said that we get Kleshagni and Subhada
Yeah.
appears now, Prabhuji. All the good auspicious qualities
Yeah.
appear in a devotee.
Yeah.
So how can we understand that, Prabhuji?
That we discussed in the third shower. What we discussed was this, what is that word? I will tell you what is that word. Nullification, nivritti. This nivritti doesn't mean one shot it happens fully. Nivritti happens in stages, That is what we call Ekadesha, Bahudesha, then Prayiki, like that we discussed, Purna and Atyanta.
Yes.
It happens gradually. Not that one shot, everything is gone and something else has come. It's a process. It happens steadily. Right? But it starts the moment you have come into the Shraddha and you started Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, then automatically this Kleshagni Shubhada has happened. But it is like a little bud, In the bud, neither the nectar, nor the fragrance, nor the colors are visible. It's a small bud. But in the bud, as it slowly blossoms, all these things will develop in due course of time. In a similar way, another example is given. You keep a pile of dry leaves and you try to pass a needle through that. It looks like the needle goes through all the leaves at a time, but actually it happens one leaf at a time only, right? Even though it appears to go through fast. Similarly, these things appear gradually, right? So now the last two paragraphs, we'll just quickly read that, and that is the end of the Nishtha chapter. However, steadiness in bhakti itself gives one the proper intelligence to perceive the presence of steadiness in the qualities in the person who has steadiness in bhakti, and to perceive the absence of steadiness in qualities in a person who does not have steadiness in bhakti. This long sentence means only a person who has reached Nishtha stage can judge another person in terms of development of bhakti or development of qualities, both the things. A person who has reached Nishtha stage can see this in other people. For lesser mortals like us, we should not enter into that area at all. Inexperienced perception cannot substantiate the truth. He is adding. We are inexperienced. We have not experienced Nishtha. So we cannot, our observations are not reliable. This is confirmed by the verse quoted above, that Bhagavatam shloka, which states that with the appearance of Naishtiki Bhakti, the devotee attains a position in which the qualities born of Raja and Tamoguna are absent and Sattva qualities are present. That means this is known only to someone who has reached the Nishtha stage. With the appearance of Naishtiki Bhakti, these things happen, but only a devotee at that stage can appreciate them, not others. In summary, one should understand that the laxity or intensity of effort in the matter of devotional activities, this is important for us, this last line, such as hearing and chanting, when they become a fixed practice, produce correspondingly two types of bhakti, unsteady and steady. There are two types of bhakti, anishtita bhakti and nishtita bhakti. How they develop? Anishtita bhakti develops when you are lax in your effort in devotional activity, whether it is hearing, chanting, meditating, etc. If you are lax, then you develop anishtita bhakti. If you are intense in your efforts, then you develop Nishtita Bhakti. So for us, this is the message. We are all doing sadhana. We are all doing hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc. If you are doing it intensely, you will go quickly to Nishtita Bhajana. If you are not doing intensely, if you are doing with laxity, sometimes doing, sometimes not doing, mind is wandering in other places, giving attention to both material life and spiritual life, saying this is also important, that is also important, being a little casual about it, then we will develop Anishtita Bhajana. Nishtita Bhajana will come only with intensity of effort. With that, the fourth shower is over. We will go to the fifth shower tomorrow. Thank you very much. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती पाद की जय।
जय